What's up? Today I'm going to be going through the meta ad library and reviewing ads live for you. Today I'm going to be focused on fencing contractors. So I'm going to go pick out 4 ads. I'm going to pick 2 video ads and 2 static image ads. I'm going to try and pick an example of an ad that's doing well, and I'm going to pick an example of an ad that's not doing well, so you can see the difference between the two and you can implement things from these ads into your campaign, and you can make sure that you're avoiding the mistakes in this video, and you can make sure that the things that are going well for these ads in meta ads library, you can take inspiration from it and try and replicate that within your campaign. All right, so I'm in the meta ad library now. I'm going to search for all ads. I'm going to look for fence installation, and I'm just going to scroll through and just try and pick out ads, and we're going to do a live review of it. So Revamp Fence and Deck is definitely one of those companies that I think has been doing well. And for the first reason is they've been running their ads for a while. So you can see some of their older ads. They've been going on since February, and they also have a lot of ads. So this means that they're testing a lot of different creatives, which is always going to be good. They also have different offers within their ads that I'll get into, and you can really just see what it takes to have a winning campaign. You're not just going to come up with one killer ad and run it and just launch it. You're going to give Meta a variation of ads, and you're going to give it a variation of offers as well, so it can kind of like fix its targeting around which ads are doing well. So let's look at this one right here. All right, so I've got it in a new window. I don't think the sound is going to play, but it's just a voiceover of the text that are on the screen. So let's just give it a quick walkthrough and see what this ad is about.
Once again, here's a before and here's an after. Most fences here in the Midwest fail because they rot at the footing. Our fences are engineered specifically for this climate. They are 5 times stronger than wood and designed to flex, not snap, in high winds. And because we use a no-dig system, we don't need to pour concrete, we don't need to tear up your yard or wait for the ground to thaw. We can secure your property line this month with zero mess. Right now, for the beginning of 2026, we have extra crew availability, so we're offering 60% off installation cost or finance your new fence with 0% interest for 60 months. Click below to see if your zip code qualifies for the discount.
Okay, so this right here is a very solid ad, and it's clear that these guys know what they're doing. And the proof of that is that they've been running for a while, and there's so many of them. So let's just break down exactly what makes this ad successful step by step, and so you can understand what you need to take from this and implement into your own campaign. So the first thing that you're going to notice with this ad is that the format is B-roll of their fences with a voiceover with captions on the screen. So that format has been a good format that has been working not only for the fencing industry, but just all over meta ads in general. The reason why the images and the videos work so well with the actual fences, with the drone shots showing the footing being rotted away, the reason why these creatives work so well is because of Meta's Andromeda update and how they're just choosing to value the actual images and videos in the ad itself. It's using AI to go and read this image here and just pick out what it is. So it sees that there's this type of fence. So it's going to do its best to try and show this to people who might want this type of fence. There's a lot of other complicated stuff about the update and everything that is not necessarily necessary for marketers to know. It's more just for developers. But essentially, you want to make sure that you have the images and that they're solid and that that's the foundation of your ad. The next thing that they do well is they present a problem. So they're showing old fences, and they're also saying that your fence is failing because of the footing. So now what this allows them to do is it allows these ads to resonate with homeowners that do have a fence, so they do need this service and they can see that they have a problem. So it's allowing the homeowner to see that, wow, my fence is rotting. This is exactly what I need because this is the exact situation that I'm in. And they know how to fix this exact situation that I'm in because they're making an ad right here telling you how exactly they can fix it. and they say, look, it's 5 times stronger than wood. It's high tensile strength, so it can flex. And they also use a no-dig system. So these are all core parts of their service that they understand that these homeowners will value. So they're not just saying that, oh, you need a fence, we'll give you a brand new fence. They're saying we'll give you a fence with these qualities, and it's going to solve your problem of having these rotted foundations. And the fence that we give you is going to solve that problem. It's not going to rot, it's not going to bend, it's not going to crack and break. So they're also showing themselves working on the fence, which is a good thing too. So you want to be able to give homeowners a preview of what your service is going to be like before they get there. Because when they go to look up a fence company and they only see the fences that you make, there leaves a lot of uncertainty for what kind of result or what kind of process they're going to go through. But when they can see the actual process of you installing the fence, they know what to expect. They know what your business looks like, and it makes it more real for them, and it makes it easier for them to say yes and for them to see themselves getting this done. If they can picture you working on the fences and like they see, oh, this is how they install the fence, they can picture that at their house. That's another thing that they do well. So they've shown visuals for what they do for the algorithm. They've pointed out a problem to the homeowner. They've targeted a specific homeowner with a rotting fence issue. Maybe they have an old fence. They've targeted a specific homeowner. So they've gone through the whole system. They've found what is the problem, what do they need, and now they're going to get into the pitch, they're going to get into their offer to seal the customer on it. So this is like sales 101. You don't want to lead with your offer in these videos. You want to lead with the problem and build up pain in the customer so the customer sees that, yeah, my fence is old. Like, yeah, my fence needs this. Yeah, I need a fence that can flex. I need a fence that is not just made out of this weak wood. Yeah, I need something stronger than wood. And now, to push them over the edge, to seal the deal, to tie down the deal, they're going to come in with this special to push you over the edge. So 60% off the installation, or you can finance it. So they're giving an offer that makes this possible and can get the customer to say yes at the end, after the customer has realized how much pain they are in and they've realized that this company can deliver exactly what they need. And then they have this offer at the end to seal the deal. So what you want to do in your ads is you want to establish where your customer is and where your customer wants to be. And then you want to sell them the bridge to get there. So they've sold them where you are is you have a broken, rotted wooden fence that doesn't flex and it's weak. It's made out of wood. You want to get to a strong fence that's going to last. It's going to be durable and it's going to look nice. We are the bridge for you to get there. And here's this deal. Here's this offer to really get you there and seal the deal. And then they even have a call to action, which is perfect. So click below, and it's going to be a call to action for the customer or potential lead to fill out a form, and then they can go through the lead form, and then boom, you just got a lead, and you just got maybe a booked estimate if you call them right away. So this is an example of a good ad. All right, so I went ahead and I went and found my second ad, and the one that I picked is gonna be right here. This has been running from June 30th, so not that much time, and it seems like this company is only running one ad, so I pasted it into this tab right here, and we're just gonna watch this ad one time through, and then I'll go and see how this ad could improve, and I'll pick out the little things that could be wrong with it. So there you see the ad. One thing that I do want to point out and give them credit is that this is really good B-roll. So not only do they show themselves building the fence, but they show it when it's done. The fence looks good. Everything looks professional. They show themselves working on a time lapse. So this is amazing. So the Meta is going to be able to use its AI to pick out what this is for, and the videos that are in here are really good. However, what this is missing is any type of sale. So a customer may see this and it's just not going to resonate with the types of customers that you want it to. So if I have a rotted old wooden fence, how am I going to know that this is for me? How do I even know that they can build this fence for me? There's no pain point addressed in this video at all, and there's no offer. There's also no voiceover. So if this video had a voiceover, it would be much stronger because it would kind of break that barrier between the video and the customer and kind of welcome you into the ad and tell you about their company and their service, and they can explain any objections that the customer might have in the video. So for the first 3/4 of the video, they could explain pain points and handle objections, and at the end they can do their tie down in their offer to close the sale and create a call to action to actually get people to fill out their form. There's no call to action here. Like, some people might need a fence and they might want it. They might just scroll by this ad and be like, oh yeah, I kind of need a fence, and just keep scrolling. But if there was a call to action and an offer, it would help out a lot more. So the way that I would improve this, honestly, is just to go back and see what the other ad did well. So the first thing we would do is add a voiceover with the subtitles in this. So whether people have volume on or off, they can read what you're trying to say and they can understand what you're trying to explain. The second thing I would do is try to pick out their target customer and pick out a main pain point that they might have. Like the other company, they picked on customers with an old rotted wooden fence that don't want to have to dig everything up to have to install a new fence. So they just want it to be seamless. They understand they have a problem and they don't want the solution to be too much of a burden. So these people, they could do the same thing. They could go after customers with old rotted wooden fences, and they could say that in the subtext, like, hey, homeowner in blah blah blah, is your wooden fence old and rotten? Well, the reason why it's old and rotten is for this reason and this reason and this reason, and if you don't do this, this, and this, then your fence is just going to keep getting worse. But here at X company, we have these vinyl fences. They're flexible, they're not going to rot, we don't have to dig anything up. It's really not a lot of effort. And if you need help, we have a payment plan. We have this special offer. You can jump on our payment plan with 0% interest if you need help to afford this fence, and we'll come and do this fence for you. Click below, fill out the form, and then we'll get in contact with you right away. So that's what this ad needs. They need a reason for the customers to want their fence. Overall, though, really solid B-roll, good images, good videos. So it just needs that sales aspect to it. It needs that marketing, just knowledge attached to it. And then this could be a really good winning ad. The other thing that I would do for them is I would make 10 ads. It seems like this is the only ad that this company is running, when in reality they need 10 of them. They need to switch up the shots. They need to go after different angles. Maybe one of the angles is like a rotten wooden fence, and then maybe the other angle is homeowners with a dog. Like maybe homeowners have a dog and they don't want it to run away, so you need a fence to maintain your property and keep your dog and keep your kids in and keep them safe from the street. That could be another angle that they go after. And then they also will have to come up with a few different offers. Maybe one of them is a payment plan, maybe one of them is a bonus, like get this with your fence. Just depends on your company and what you really offer. But overall, this has really good potential. They just need to fix it to be optimized by the algorithm. They need to put in the marketing language and the subheadings. They need to create different variations of this ad, and they need to give it all to Meta and let Meta figure it out and use its algorithm to show it to the people that they need to show it to. All right, from the ad library, I've gone and I've picked out 2 static image ads that I'll go over, and I'm just going to go over what they're doing well and what they can improve on. So for this first one that we've got here, this is the example of a good ad. Although it's not perfect, to be honest with you, it could use some improvement. I didn't find any fencing ads that were absolutely perfect for the static image ones. So, there's room for improvement within this industry, definitely. For this company right here, what I really like about this ad and why I picked it out is because the offer is very clear. It's the biggest text and it's right in the middle. It's the first thing that you read. It says free gate with new fence installation. So that's their offer. In all of these ads, you want to have some type of offer. You don't have to necessarily give anything away for free or add any discounts. You just have to give people a reason to go with you. Maybe your offer includes like high quality materials, like we build your fence with this material. So don't think of, when I say offer, you always have to give something away for free. You don't always have to sacrifice your margin, but in this case they're giving away a free gate, which I really like that offer. And then below they also have some more text just to help qualify customers and see that they're trustworthy. So this quality fence is at a fair price. This one could maybe be improved on, but it's not bad. And then they have a call to action. So this is really good. Fill out the form to claim your fence today. And they also have their logo and their branding in it. So overall, this is a really good ad. They have the offer. That's the biggest thing. That's the first thing that you see. These could be a little bit better. Like maybe they could be a little bit more specific, like reliable and trustworthy pros. That doesn't mean anything to the customer. Maybe they could have put something like X amount of 5-star reviews or X amount of fences installed or homeowners, thousands of homeowners satisfied, something like that. Something tangible and something real that will make them trust you. You can't just say you're trustworthy, but this is decent. This is good. So the people know, residential or commercial, we want to have something here like this amount of reviews and then quality fences at a fair price. Instead of saying quality fences, maybe mention the material of the fence. So that would be helpful. Overall, this is good. The two things I would change is I would make the picture a lot bigger. So this is just some kind of graphic. Like these stripes don't add any value to the customer. What the customer wants to see is a picture of the fence that is going to be built or a picture of the company truck with the crew or something like that. Like they don't want to just see these lines. They want to see the actual people who will be installing their fence, or they want to see the fence that they're going to get. So overall, just to some of the things that they're doing well, a clear offer. That's the first thing that you read. They have a call to action. They have their branding and logo that are small. You don't want these two things to ever be the biggest thing because what's important is the offer. And then they have this additional information here in an image. The two things we can improve is to make the additional information a bit more real, a bit more tangible, and this image could just be bigger so we can give the homeowner something to look at so they know what to expect. Now we're going to move over here to the ad that could use improvement. Now this is not a bad ad, so to say. I actually think there are parts of it that are good, but it's just the way that it's formatted and there isn't a super clear offer in it or a call to action. So it just could use some room to improve. But the first thing that you see when you look at this is you see their logo, and that wouldn't be a bad thing, but when we're running ads that we want to convert people on, we want them to see the offer first. So there's different types of ads. There are ads at the top of the funnel to get people aware of who you are. There are ads in the middle of the funnel so people can learn about who you are and what you do. And then there are ads at the bottom of the funnel which will convert the customers and get them from, I know about you, I know what you do, I need a fence, I'm ready to buy, let me buy with you. So these ads most of the time are going to be targeting that bottom of the funnel customer, at least when you first start, because the top of funnel and the middle of funnel is a bit more complex of a strategy. So in the beginning, we're just going to want to target the bottom of the funnel, people who are ready to buy, and what they need to see is an offer. They're ready to buy, they have the money, they need a fence, they need to see an offer. Let me jump on this right now. So the first thing that they see is the name. So that's only for the top of funnel. So people looking for a fence, they might not really know they need a fence. and they could use one, they're going to want to know who they should get a fence with. So then you have Miyagi's Fence Works. So now they see your ad, and then maybe a few months later they see your ad again, and then they see your name again, and then they see your name again, and then they move to the middle of the funnel. But that's a lot of ad spend, and that's a lot of time. And with these ads, we're mostly just going to be focused on converting the people already at the bottom of the funnel, because that's the most effective thing to do with the money that you're spending on these meta ads. At least for smaller companies or companies who are newer to running ads, because that's the least complex strategy. We don't want to immediately launch your campaign with this complex funnel strategy. So it's not bad that they have the logo, but we just want the offer to be bigger and to be first to convert the bottom of the funnel customers. So free estimates, that seems to be their offer. We want to just have free estimates, like bold, big letters right here. And then these pictures are nice. They could be bigger. We could make the whole thing a picture of a fence. Personally, that's what I would do, but it's not necessary. It kind of comes down to preference. Personally, I would make it the whole picture because Meta's algorithm will just be able to pick it up better. Then they have fence repair and new installation. That's good. They can have that check mark somewhere here. Residential and commercial, that's good. They can have it here. And then wood, aluminum, steel, and vinyl. That's really good. So compare it to this, where they say quality fence at a fair price. That doesn't mean anything to the customer. They're saying wood, aluminum, steel, and vinyl. So the customer knows, okay, these are the materials that they're using. These are high quality materials. They chose to include their picture on it, which is a good thing. That's another kind of advantage that this company has, that they're family owned and operated. So that's an advantage you can throw in your ads if that's true. If there are little neat things about your business, you definitely want to include that in the ad. So that's good. And then they're also showing some kind of award that they've won. That's another good thing. And then they have their contact information here. What I would do is that I would probably have a call to action here instead of the phone number and stuff. Have a call to action to fill out the form, because it's easier for people to just scroll and then fill out the form and make it easy for them to get a quote, as opposed to them having to go and visit your website or have to go and type in your phone number. It just makes it easier and it's just a lower friction. So overall, just to recap, this isn't necessarily a bad ad. There are just some things that I would change about it to make sure it was more clear and more targeted at the bottom of the funnel customers. So just to go over, I would make the logo smaller and maybe put it in some kind of corner. I would make the free estimates offer bold in the middle. That's your offer. I would have the background be one of these images, and then I would have these kind of like boxes, family owned and operated, in this corner over here. And then I would have this text. This is all good text right here. I would have it small right here. And then I would have a call to action right here down below. All right, that's it for the video today. Of course, if you ever need help with any of this stuff, I'll link my website down below in the description, and you can go and book a one-on-one consultation with me, and I'll just see if I can help you, if I can give you some tips with your own ads. And in the next video that I make, I think what I'm going to do is break down this whole funnel system that I talked about and how you can target your ads specifically towards people in their buyer's journey. So there's the whole buyer's journey. There's the top of the funnel where people don't really know that they even have the problem. Then once they realize they have the problem, they're going to try and figure out how to get it solved and who to go to. And then once they realize how they want to get it solved and who to go to, they're going to go to the bottom of the funnel where they're pretty much ready to buy. They just need something to push them over the edge. Most of the ads that I run are for the bottom of the funnel, and those are the most common types of ads that people who sell meta ad services run, just to convert the bottom of the funnel. But eventually you get to a point where you've converted all of the people at the bottom of the funnel, and you have to work your way up out to the top. So that's for people who are further along in running their ads, but I think I just want to make a video about it because I see people who start running their ads and they're targeting people at the top of the funnel, and it's just not relevant. They need to be focusing on the bottom of the funnel, coming up with an offer, shooting it out, and trying to get people to convert as soon as possible. So that's it. Of course, go down to the description. You can book a call with me and I can help you out.